Hey guys, good morning. How are you doing today? I hope you're having a good time. I'm just vlogging casually with you guys today. Just checking in because I have not been vlogging for the past few weeks now. And the main reason why is because I'm in my home here in the province. Now, I'm actually so glad that I was able to upload one of my vlogs that I have been meaning to upload for weeks now. And it was actually my trip report when I flew on Japan Airlines for the first time. So I was very happy with that. And I actually love flying, and my childhood dream was to be a pilot. So that's how I actually celebrate one of my childhood dreams by actually doing trip reports when I'm flying. And also just to share my experience with you guys, especially if in the future you're planning to go to Japan and you might travel domestically. So I hope that's gonna prove insightful for a future trip. But anywho, so I have been here in my home in the province for around 10-11 days. I lost count, and the main reason why is because time always moves so slow here. And I'm planning to be here for 5 more days, and then after that I'm heading back to Metro Manila because I have some work inquiries. So I'm hoping that will push through. So please cross your fingers for me. And also one other thing is that I have been invited to a brand event, which I'm so excited about. There are no details yet, and I can't share them with you yet. So if it does push through, I'm sure a vlog will come out of it because it needs to be shared, if you know what I mean. So please subscribe if you're interested to see that in the future. Yeah, so I am here in my home in the province a little bit early in the season because usually my partner and I would come here during the tail end of December because this is where we usually celebrate the Christmas season and the New Year's. But the reason why we're here this early is because my partner and I are currently moving our stuff from our home in Metro Manila to here. So we have some cabinets that we shipped here, sofas, tables, an earthen jar, things like that. And the main reason why is because our home in Metro Manila, where I usually do my brush reviews, makeup reviews, and makeup tutorials and whatnot, is currently in the market. So it's been in the market for a year, and we're hoping that it will be sold by the year's end. So again, here's hoping. So we've been rearranging around the house, and we've also decluttered a lot of stuff. And we've also sold a lot of our furnitures that we don't need, and we've also been discarding a lot of stuff that we will not be bringing with us here. And that's no big deal for me. Those are just things, they don't hold any sentimental value. It's actually a no-brainer for the both of us. Yeah, so the main reason why our house is currently in the market is because we're finding it a little too big, especially with the fact now that our foster kids are in college. So we don't need a very big space, and we don't need 2 big spaces, especially with our home here. We have so much space, and we have talked about this before, years ago, that when the time comes, we should opt to have a much more smaller space in our city home, just so that it's going to be easier to manage, if you know what I mean. So I've actually placed a down payment on a small condo unit that we'll be calling our pied-à-terre when we are in the city. So the most magnificent thing about our jobs at the moment is that we are able to work remotely, and then if as needed, we can just always go on location when it is time to actually start shooting, or when you're just actually needed to be on set, or wherever. I'm sure you guys know what I mean. Yeah, so the only thing that's affecting me right now, my mental fortitude, is the fact that our dogs need to be relocated here. So I have 6 dogs in total. So I have 3 dogs who live permanently here in the province. They're all rescues. And then we also have 3 dogs in the city who we've been bringing here to the province, whenever we stay here for an extended period of time. But the only difference that's going to happen now is that 2 of our city dogs are going to be relocated here because we just need them to be in a much more bigger space while we are in limbo, because currently we have some stuff that's currently being fixed in the house, so there are carpenters coming in. So it's just one way of safe keeping them, because we don't want them to get stressed when there are other people in the house. We don't want them to get stressed when there's banging going on in the house. And then also we just want to keep them secure, because who knows, they might escape the house when the movers come in and they start moving furniture, things like that. So that's the only thing that's making me sad, because they sleep with me. I wake up early for them. We walk. I bathe them. We cuddle together. We play together. So the major adjustment that's going on is going to be with my emotions. But one of our dogs, our oldest, Chio, might have to travel back with me, and we actually need to keep an eye on him because of his old age. So his sight is kind of getting dimmer, and then his hearing is also getting lost, and then he also needs to take his medications because he has arthritis. And we have decided that he can't be really separate from us, because he is the one who is so attuned to us, and he's the one who always constantly looks for us. Even at night when we are in bed, he really cuddles in my arms, in between my legs and my tummy, and I can see him walking around here in our home. And I think he's adjusting very, very hard, because everything is so new to him and so big, and also his sensories are affected now because of his age. We can see that he's having a difficult time adjusting to his new surroundings, but hopefully in the future he would adjust well, especially if we're staying here for an extended period of time. So that's the only thing that's actually affecting me right now. But other than that, I'm holding on to my faith and just keeping strong, and just hoping that everything will go well, at this time of our lives wherein there's a major change going on. Because if you are moving, you know how stressful it is, and also how it kind of chips into your mental fortitude, and it takes a while for you to fully adjust to your new surroundings and new beginnings, things like that. But if there's anything in life that I appreciate, is the fact that we are always able to start over again. So I'm actually looking forward to this new chapter in our lives. Now, I've actually been wanting to vlog ever since I got here, but unfortunately it wasn't possible because we arrived here in between storms. So the weather was not very good. So the winds were very strong and the rains were very strong, that it would just drown out the audio. It was so crazy. And you know how crazy it was? Let me just show you guys what this storm did here in the beach in front of the house. So because the waves were so strong and the winds were so strong, we now have sand in front of us. And the main reason why I am finding this to be very surprising is because it's usually very pebbly here. Look at that. So that's what we actually see here in front of the house, but now it's sand. So I find that so amazing. But on a much more serious note, my partner and I are also talking on how to secure the breakwater, because this meant that the water was very strong and the waves are very strong during the storm, that the sand really came into our lawn here, and it kind of changed the landscape a little bit. So we have to think about how to secure the property. And mind you, the category of the storm here in the island wasn't that strong, but because of how windy it was, it kind of changed the topography of the shore here. So it's a little bit higher now, and then that part of the beach there, yeah, so it's dipping quite low. So there was, I'm sure, some erosion that really happened. So it's kind of crazy because we don't really get storms at this time of the year, and who knows what's happening. So we just have to adjust to the times, actually. But I'm just so glad though that the storms that passed didn't cause a lot of damage here in the house. Everything is still in good condition. The only thing that happened was one of our Nipa roofs here there on the side actually fell down. So I'm going to show you guys that later. And then one of the glass that's in our doors also shattered from the wind. So those are the only damages that happened here in the house. You know, no trees have toppled down, and everything is still fine, which is like, you know, such a relief, such a relief. So, okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you guys some stuff that we've been doing here, just so that you guys can have an idea what we're doing, and then, like, you know, just one way of you and I to actually hang out. So let's go to the side of the house. Okay, so we're walking to the side of the house now, and let me just show you guys the Nea roof that actually fell. So hang on. And as you guys can see, that's one Nea roof there, and then we actually had one here, but it actually gave out when the storm passed. And if we move in closer, you can see that some parts of the wood have turned rotten, and I'm sure it also became waterlogged, and in time it couldn't, like, you know, really support the weight of the nipa leaves, and it actually fell to the ground. And we're actually looking into fixing that, but we're just waiting for the nipa leaves to actually dry down. So I'm gonna show you guys the fallen nipa roof, and let me just walk through the garden here. Let me walk through the laundry. All right, so there it is. All right, so it's quite big, and it's a little bit heavy right now because the nipa leaves are still soaked with water. So eventually, when this dries down, it's gonna be hoisted up again into new scaffolding. Now, as you guys can see here, by the way, we have netting sewn into the nipa roof here, and that actually makes it sturdier, and it just prevents, like, you know, bald spots from happening. We're actually just so glad that it survived in one intact piece, because it's going to be easier to actually, like, you know, reattach into the side of the house. Yeah, so let me just show you guys, like, you know, one other nipa roof here that needs to be fixed. So let me zoom in. So as you guys can see there, I'll just zoom in. So there's some holes in that roof there that was caused by the storms that passed, and we're going to have that fixed so that, like, you know, water will not come into our bedroom over there, and also here, because if we're going to go inside, this is actually our library and office space. Okay, so let me just go here and twist around. So the nipa roofing was supposed to be there, and in the afternoons the light actually comes in from there. So it tends to be very hot here in this room, so that nipa roof over there should really help, like, you know, cool down this room. And also it's gonna keep it secure and ensure that water doesn't come in, because after all, you guys can see that we have so many books here in this room. All right, and since we're here already, let me show you guys the things that I had brought from our home in Metro Manila to here. So this sofa used to be in our home in Metro Manila, and now it's here, and it kind of also matches the carpet that we had in our home in Manila as well. And that's Chio, my Dachshund, my 12-year-old Dachshund. And I do have to say now that this sofa is in this space, it kind of like fits perfectly. So cute. And then if I walk in this position and I shift around, this is our office space. And these are my 3 city dogs. So that's Chio, my Dachshund, Tanner, my Pharaoh Hound, and Malena, my Beagle. So this used to be my office table, which is usually behind me when I am vlogging in my home in Metro Manila. So we actually also moved it here. And what's so great about this table is that it's good for two people. So my partner works on the other side and then I work on this side, and I have a set of drawers here for me. And this table also has a set of drawers for my partner. So it's a perfect table for the both of us, especially when we're discussing something, things like that. Hi. But when I'm watching videos or listening to music and my partner finds it a little bit too loud, he either moves out to a different side of the house or I move out to a different side of the house. Now, the other things that I brought are these two chinois chairs. This used to be in our bedroom and now it's here. And it kind of fits nicely as well. But I don't think these are going to be there permanently because it doesn't kind of match this Victorian style of furniture here, but we'll see. So I'm sure that will move somewhere. And those are paintings and pictures of my partner's family. Okay, and if you go here, this is going into our sala and lanai, and this cabinet also came from our home in Manila. It's quite so heavy. This is actually a cabinet from his aunt that was given to him, and this actually has a smaller version which is in our home in Manila and which we'll be keeping for our small condo unit. So this is kind of cool. At least we have more storage here. Now this mirror has been here for quite a while now, but we are moving this maybe there, and then we have a smaller mirror that we'll put on top of that, because this mirror right now is just a little bit too big. And then the gold trimming, the antique gold trimming of this mirror doesn't kind of match this. And this mirror, for sure is much more useful somewhere else. And there's an African mask from his sister that he inherited when she passed over. Yeah, okay, so this armchair also came from Manila and now it's here. And our dogs actually love hanging out there. And that's Milu, one of my dogs here in the province who I rescued behind one of the big trees here. Such a sweet doggy, this one. Okay, all right, and what else is here? So this is the kitchen. So I have this big cabinet here which we will be replacing, although we'll just move this to a different part of the house. And the main reason why is because I'm finding it that it's a little bit too, it's not big, but I think it's just kind of odd because the red tone of the cabinet is just sticking sorely here in the kitchen area. And we actually brought in one of our white cabinets which is in our kitchen back home, so that will actually go here. So I have that stored in the cottage there at the side. I'm going to insert a video of that here, and I think it would just work perfectly because it's a little bit smaller and the color of that cabinet is also white, so that will just really work with the aesthetic of the area. And it's going to make it a bit wider because again the red tone of the cabinet just makes it stand out, if you know what I mean. Yeah, so we are still in the process of really editing stuff and rearranging stuff to ensure that everything looks cohesive and homey at the same time. We don't like to make things look modern, but we want our home to look like it's a home and people actually live in it. Okay, and before we head out, let me just show you guys where I usually vlog when I am here. So I actually just set up a small table there, and then I set up some lights, and then that's where I actually vlog and do reviews when I am here, because the light coming in there, especially in the afternoon, is actually so beautiful. And I just love it when I'm working and then I'm able to see nature there or the laundry drying, and I can also hear some birds chirping throughout the day. And finally, the other thing that we also brought from our home in Metro Manila to here is this big earthen jar, and it's now here outside. Okay, it's actually this one. Now, I think my partner has plans to put it somewhere here in the garden. and I think he plans to make it into a fountain. So he has had this for I think 18 or 20 years, so for sure this is gonna be a heirloom for the family. Yeah, so we did ship a lot of big ticket items to our home here at this time, and I think that's it, because we spent a lot of money to ship a lot of these things here. And if there's anything that we need to ship, I think it's just gonna be small items now, like, you know, personal stuff, books, things like that, and that will fit into our car. And we can always do it slowly. So we're still in the process of, like, you know, really getting rid of a lot of stuff and, like, you know, decluttering. So it's a process. It's quite a process, if you know what I mean. And I kind of like it because it just makes you feel lighter, and it also comes to show that at the end of the day, things don't really matter, you know. Yeah, so I believe I have come to the end of my vlog for today. So I just wanted to share with you guys what we've been doing, and there's really nothing exciting going on while I am here. So it's just a lot of house stuff, and then a lot of coordinating and a lot of planning. So I know it doesn't sound much, but it's kind of nerve-wracking and time-consuming and sometimes very exhausting. But what can we do but just, like, you know, go through the process, hold on, and just wish for the best. Okay, yeah, so that's it for me today. I hope that you guys enjoyed hanging around with me, and if you have any more questions or if you just want to chat, please leave them down at the comments box or DM me on Instagram. And, like, you know, let's just enjoy a few conversations together. I would really appreciate it. Okay, yeah, so I'm gonna let you guys go now and let you go on with your day, and I have to go on with my day. And then if there's anything else, I'm gonna vlog about it. Okay, all right, thank you so much for hanging around with me. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope that you're having a good day wherever you are. Bye.